Hey, my rats, you ready for a Rattitude check? Because I am. Today, we're checking actually in on like different movies and TV shows for the rats, which is going to be really fun. But I thought I'd give like a little life update because I'm getting my hair chopped off today. So, this is the last video with long hair. Very excited. I feel like I'm letting go of fear. Has anyone been on astrology talk? I've really been on astrology talk because my life is getting rocked big time. And I think it's my Saturn return. And I think it's like I'm near the end of it because I'm about to turn 30. And I think that's when it's like really just supposed to wrap up. So I think the universe was like, here's one more final, very crucial lesson. And the past 2 months have really sucked and been really hard. But I'm ready to shed that, and that hence the Menti Bee haircut. Super excited about that. And I'm just shedding fear. I know what I need to let go of. I know what I need to let go of, and it is fear. And I feel like everything's like been coming to this conclusion. Like my wedding, like everything's been like striking this chord of like, you're such an afraid person. And that's why the rat was born, you know? And I love the rat, and I will genuinely always be a rat, and I know that for a fact because my sister's a rat, and she's not as fearful as I am. I am not a rat in the sunshine. We've been over this. I'm a rat in the sewer, and I want to be a rat in the sunshine because I like the rats. I like being a rat. I will be a rat girl forever. But what I need to work on is how much fear this rat has. Because I got a lot of fear. My brain just feeds me these images all the time, and it's just like, I need to work on that. That I would have to work with a therapist, you know, like all the thoughts of like horrible things happening. That sucks. I really hate that that's how my brain works. That's for a therapist. The other stuff, like not being able to tackle my career properly, having imposter syndrome, that's like fear in like a confidence issue. And that I can work on myself, and that I will. So that's kind of the life update. And I really love you, rats. And obviously, like we're coming off the wave of last week where TikTok got very mad at me for using the rat emoji, and you know they put my career at jeopardy over there. I was like, oh my god, this is how I pay my bills. How terrifying. Then I didn't get an audition that I thought went really, really well, and it did go really, really well. I know for a fact, I think I was like the best one that came in that room that day, and I don't say that lightly because I have never said that before. Normally I leave and I'm like, I feel like I did a good job. That time, I got feedback from the director that I had done what they needed me to do and no one had done it yet that day. So I'm thinking, great, I booked this. I go home, I'm like, I think I booked this. No call. Silence. That hurt. Because it's just proof that like you can do your best in your industry and still nothing can happen. Like nothing you know, I have said this before and it's a harsh lesson, but like the world really owes you nothing. You know, you can be the best person, you can be the best at your job, and it doesn't mean the world will provide for you. You really do have to provide for yourself. You got to be scrappy, you know, and we're rats, so we are, and we can be, but not when we're sitting in fear. But I'm really excited to be back in the short hair girly club. I've always been in that. I'm in and out of that club. I really like, I grow my hair out, I chop it off. I grow my hair out, I chop it off. But at the end of the day, I always love the short hair. I think I always love the short hair. The long hair is fun and it's always a moment, but it's too much work for me at the end of the day. The long hair is like, you know, it starts to get dry at the bottom. It gets stuck in things in the wintertime. It's like a rat's nest behind your head. Then I got this confirmation from this like callback where they didn't book me, meaning like I just didn't look the part. They didn't like my look. And so I thought, okay, now I'm very confident in changing my look. Maybe I can look like a little quirky or something, you know, and that's chasing smoke. Like that is like a path you don't want to go down as an actor. But, you know, when you're having a Menti Bee, I think it's completely fine. As long as you're not going to freak out once you do it, which I know I'm not going to. I think I'm going to love this. I think it's going to empower me. I think even if it's placebo, cutting your hair is like the best thing you can do, or changing up your look. It's just, it's very satisfying. I also have headshots tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. So I was practicing my foundation today, and I think this does match really nicely, which is good because I did fake tan. Some people on my TikTok live were asking what fake tan I use. I do stand by Jergens as a very good one. That's probably the best affordable one on the market. But I also really like the Bondi Sands 1 Hour Express tan, and I really like the Coco and Eve tan. Those are my three. And then foundation-wise today, I did a mix. That's my pump because I'm not wearing it right now. I'm being really irresponsible and being really lazy and not going to get it. And it's, you know, when I shower, I take it off. Obviously, you wouldn't know that necessarily, I guess. Some people wouldn't know, but it's not waterproof, my pump, so it has to come off. And I just unplug myself, my little tube in my stomach. Very little tube. But anyways, I didn't go put it back on after my shower, and now I'm sitting here and I'm already done my makeup, and I'm like, let's just rock this podcast. So let's talk about Who's the Rat in some popular favorite TV shows of mine. Starting with Friends. Now, when I rewatch Friends, I still love it and it will always have a place in my heart. My style is so heavily influenced by Friends. I think it's like really apparent. Like I really am a mix of Phoebe, Monica, and Rachel's style. Like and Chandler. I really just am. And that's because my sister and I were absolutely obsessed with it growing up. Then I got into The Office, and I used to get mad at Zach when he was like, The Office is better. I'd be like, no, Friends is better. Like I would get mad because like Friends was my show. But having since watched The Office like a couple times through, I'm like, wow, this one maybe holds up like a little bit better. It's like so good. Because that laugh track, that 90s sitcom laugh track, that's tough. That's tough for any of those shows with that laugh track. The laugh track make things like a little like cheesy, but it's still so good. But anyways, who is the rat in Friends? I'm gonna let you guess. 3, 2, 1. It's Monica. Monica is the rat in Friends. Let me tell you why. Okay, Monica lives in fear. Definitely lives in high anxiety. That's a rat girl if I ever frickin' saw one, all right? Monica tries to like clean, like she's so anxious. Monica has anxiety. And I would say one of the defining factor of a rat person is anxiety. And we know Monica has anxiety, okay? She also potentially, like, well, then again, it's like the 90s treating mental illness. They imply she has OCD like tendencies. I'm not a therapist. We'd have to ask Rachel if she actually does. If you missed Rachel's podcast, by the way, it was such a good one. She's an actual psychotherapist. But yeah, Monica is the rat. Now, another person you might have thought was, well, actually, no. I'm hoping nobody said Ross, because like the thing that stands out about Ross is he is the Eeyore. Like if I had to give him a title, he's the Eeyore of the group. He's like the sad guy. Rats, we can struggle with depression, and I have, and I'm sure, every rat has, and it ebbs and it flows, but the main defining factor is the anxiety, and that's why we gotta go with Monica. Think about Monica when it came to her wedding. Now, we were very different. Monica's approach was like drill sergeant. Mine was avoidance tactics, but either way, they were high anxiety, okay? So they were very similar. She was a rat bride, but just in her own way. She was very panicked about things. I was very panicked about things, but in very different ways. So yeah, Monica's the rat. Moving on to Sex and the City. 3, 2, 1, who's the rat? Ready? 3, 2, 1. This one's very easy. Actually, the Friends one was very easy as well, but Miranda. Miranda is the rat. That's very apparent. Now, Miranda would, again, be our person that would maybe have like a general anxiety, but she also, I think, links with me, and this is all made up, by the way. This is all allegedly. This is all my assumptions based on watching fictional characters, by the way. It's not that serious. But the way I see Miranda is she and I have very doomsday, like, tendencies where it's like you kind of like doomsdayify everything. And so that is very rat-like, I would say. And again, that lives in anxiety, is like seeing something and then seeing every little thing that can go wrong. That's kind of rat behavior. And I love the strength. I think Miranda is like the strongest. I literally love Miranda so much. She's so strong. She's so fierce. That's a rat. That's a rat, okay? She knows how to take care of her own shit. She gets a little flustered sometimes, a little frustrated sometimes. She's maybe a little bit of an angrier rat than I would be. But of the people in Sex and the City, she's definitely the rat. Doesn't mean she perfectly fits in the category, but I would say that aspect of her is how we can connect with her as the rat in that show, okay? I also have this really fun theory. You know how you're like, who are we? Which friend is who from like Sex and the City? Like what friend group doesn't do that? I often get Carrie, okay? I often get Carrie. And I can see it, but then I see all this slander of like, Carrie's a horrible friend. Look, I get it. Sometimes she's a bad friend, but we're also centered on Carrie, right? We are centered on her, and it's a show about friendship and relationships. So of course the drama is going to center with like relationship drama, right? Like with friends or with men. And so I think we're like a little hard on Carrie sometimes. She's a fictional character and they needed someone to bring the drama. I'm not just saying that because people call me the Carrie. I actually think I'm the Miranda. And anyway, so it goes back to my theory. I think that you can be any of the girls. It just depends what friend group you're in. You know how like when you're hanging out with some friends, like you could be with your work friends and it's like, oh my God, you're the crazy one. So you're the Samantha. And it's like, how am I the Samantha? I'm not the Samantha. But then you go hang out with your other friends who are the Samanthas and you're like, oh my God, I'm the Charlotte. I'm the Charlotte with you guys. Okay. They all live within us. It's just who you're put up against in the extremes. Like sometimes people are talking and I'm like, oh, I'm the Charlotte. Oh, I am the Charlotte. Like with my friend Noor and my friend Margaret, I'm like, oh, I'm Charlotte. I am innocent little naive Charlotte. But then you hang out with like boring people and you're like, am I crazy Carrie? What? Oh, you guys think I'm fun? And then in my everyday friendships, my closest relationships, I'm the Miranda. I'm very... my sister calls me like pushy, like, and not in a mean way. She's just like, if you tell Taylor you want to like go get this job or you want to cut your hair or you want to like change your life, she's the one that's going to be like, you can do it. You can, oh my God, go do it. What are you waiting for? It's like a little forceful. I got to watch it sometimes. But I'm like, yes, let's go. So the Miranda. So anyways, that was fun. Moving on to The Office. Now, this is interesting. There might be a couple rats in The Office, okay? Rats for different reasons, but who do we want to claim at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, my final answer is who we're claiming to the rat club, and that's very important because that's a special title, okay? There might be other rats. For example, The Office. 3, 2, 1. Angela, you might want to say Angela's the rat because she's just not a nice person. But that doesn't make her actually a rat like us. That would make her like a stereotypical version of rats where everyone's like, ew, you're ratty, you're sly, you're stinky. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about our rats. Like our rat club is like a beautiful space full of really strong, wonderful humans. Oh my God, kicked my phone. And therefore, we do not claim Angela. Now, Angela and Dwight is my favorite storyline in The Office. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just that, no, they're not the rats because they actually embrace wholeheartedly who they are in terms of being kind of like negative, unaccepting people. That is not a rat. Rats are super accepting, okay? So who is actually the rat? I have to go with Erin. Now that's a bit of a deep cut. She's in later seasons, but Erin is such a people pleaser. That's where we will connect with her, okay? Erin just wants everyone happy and would do anything to make sure everyone's happy. A pain point in the rat's life is working on that people pleaser element. Okay? It's hard being a chronic people pleaser. We never send our food back. We're eating shitty food all the time. People push us in the street. We apologize. Okay? It's not always great. And so then, therefore, it's Erin. Now, Erin is obviously a fictional character and has other flaws, if you want to call them. But at the end of the day, she's kind-hearted, she's hardworking, and she is people-pleasing. And she is a part of the Rat Club, and that is where we connect with her. Golden Girls. If you don't watch Golden Girls, you need to watch it ASAP. Okay, that's just, you need to. Also, Sex and the City. If you haven't watched any of these shows, honestly, I'm mentioning, yes, they're my favorite shows, but you need to watch them, okay? Because they're my favorites for a reason. I'm very picky. They're so good. Golden Girls, 3, 2, 1, Sophia. That's the easiest one. Sophia is the oldest character, and she is a curmudgeon, and she is over it. She's over it. That's a rat in their final state, okay? That's a rat final state. I don't give a F. That's where we're all gonna get, okay? We're gonna be like monster level rat one day when we learn all these lessons, when we learn to stop people pleasing, when we learn to let go of fear. We keep the rat, but we let go of the traits of the rat that we don't want. And then we become Sophia, who is honestly like a honey badger. Remember that? Honey badger don't give a shit. Like, she's a honey badger, and that's kind of like the rat's final form or something that could happen to the rat, and that's how we connect with her there. Other characters in it have, no, Dorothy maybe, like, because Dorothy's like kind of like a, again, less, the frequency of the rat is a high frequency. Oh man, this episode is making me sound insane and I love it. Frequency of the rat, high frequency, right? We're not a slow-paced being. We're functioning off of general anxiety at all times. There's a fire burning in us always, and it's called anxiety, and it's called hell, and it exists in our stomach. That's what makes us a rat. That would be Sophia. So a Dorothy, I think that's the right name in the show. That's the wrong. You know who I'm talking about. Or is that her real name? Maybe. You know who I'm talking about. It's not Betty White, and it's not the Southern character. It's the other one, the curmudgeon-y one. Not a rat. Gilmore Girls. Okay, who is the rat in Gilmore Girls? 3, 2, 1, Rory. Yeah, Rory is a rat. Now, I don't really want to claim her. Rory pisses me off a lot because Lorelai is a queen. Lorelai is a rat as well, and Lorelai bred, now this is interesting. I think Lorelai's the rat, but she bred an even rattier rat. And maybe that's the danger, that maybe that's something we have to look out for if we are rats that want to procreate, is what we pass on in terms of Rattitude. We got to watch it because we might have Rorys, and that's an ungrateful little rat. All right, but still a rat. Definitely still rat energy. You know, high functioning, definitely anxiety, people pleasing. Like, we definitely see the rat in her. I really like Rory until season whatever when she just gets really shitty. Lorelai is the queen rat. And again, I think like a level that we could all seek to reach. Okay, like she is very strong, and I think that's a rat in the sunshine. I think that she's a really good example of a rat in the sunshine. Still making mistakes, still human. That's human. Mistakes are human, right? Not everything Lorelai does is perfect. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that is a strong rat who knows what she deserves, and she goes and gets it. And I do like that. And I would say that that's correct. And I do not think that Emily is a rat. Emily was not a rat that bred a rat. Emily was mad at the fact that she bred a rat. And she was like, what is with this rat? She doesn't want to fit into the box I want to put her in. And rats, we cannot be put in boxes we don't want to be put into. And I think that's why Lorelai is the ultimate rat. I'm going to claim Lorelai. We're going to reject Rory. We're going to keep an eye out for the fact that rats can breed rats. And that could be risky because then you got a big old baby rat on your hands. And we don't want that. We want to be cool rats. So Lorelai, you couldn't force her into something. And that just reminds me of like how I was with my wedding. Like everyone was doing it this way. And it's not that I didn't like that way. It's that I couldn't find myself in that way. And it scared me and I spiraled. That's Lorelai, right? She couldn't figure out how to be in this high society because she felt so like, and she just couldn't play the game and panicked and ran away. Very ratty, to be honest. It's very ratty. Instead of using words, I mean, maybe she did use words. We don't really have a lot of insight on that side of her life. And obviously it was a very bad dynamic she had with her parents. I don't want to get into that. That's really sad. Like, and again, it's just a TV show, but that reaction to run away, to spiral and panic, it's giving rat, because you couldn't fit in. And that's how I was feeling in my wedding. And I self-sabotaged like a lot during the wedding process because I felt so disconnected from it. I was like, like it is giving me so much anxiety, that I had to make it fun and I had to create this rat thing, and she had to run away from her parents. Anyways, Lorelai's the rat. Let's jump into some fun movies and play the same game. So, Harry Potter, just because I am a millennial and we got to do it. Who's the rat in Harry Potter? 3, 2, 1. Wormtail. I got you there. That's an actual rat. No, the actual rat in Harry Potter, this is actually kind of tricky. I want to say Hermione because, again, we've got the people-pleasing, the high anxiety. She's buzzing on a certain frequency to perform well in life. And I think we could claim Hermione as the rat. But then again, Hermione kind of does things too perfectly. She's almost not sloppy enough for us. She's almost not messy enough. Who is the rat? I will find you. Ginny is too strong. Not that we're not strong, rats. Not that we're not strong. If Ginny was strong and had anxiety, we'd be taking Ginny. But I don't think Ginny has anxiety. Who has anxiety in Harry Potter? Let's start there. Hermione, for sure. Might have to take Hermione. I think we have to take Hermione because I was thinking of some other characters and they don't, again, it's got to be on that certain beat. Like I was going to say like Hagrid would also, I think, like have anxiety. But his beat is so relaxed, it can't be a rat. If you're like relaxed, you might not be a rat. We'll still love you. You can still be in the club, love what you identify with. But at the end of the day, it's like this. At the end of the day, it's that, kind of feeling that the rat carries. Who is the rat in Twilight? 3, 2, 1. Bella. Bella is the rat. Yes. She just is, right? Because she it's funny. Her beat, I would say, is not the high-paced beat that we would want, but there is, again, that aspect of feeling kind of different. And I do want to celebrate that because there's been this, like, lately, like, this kind of movement of, like, therefore calling those kind of people pick me, which I think is, like, really harmful. Do you want everyone to be the same? I think it's okay when someone voices that they don't fit into a box that a lot of people are fitting into. It doesn't mean that box is bad. We can look at that box and be like, that's a great box, but I actually don't fit into it. That was me with my wedding. It's like, I could see that it was a great box. I've loved every wedding I've ever been to. I get excited. I cry at all of them. I freaking love them. I love talking about them with other people when it's theirs. When I had to jump in that box, I was like, oh, I am actually finding it really hard to jump in here. I'm not saying that because I'm quirky and different and special. I'm literally trying to communicate to you that I can't fit in this box. And I think that was very Bella. Special shout out though in Twilight, who's the friend? Jessica? Jessica would also be a rat. For sure, Jessica is a rat in her life. But I think maybe like a little bit of a bully. So I don't want to claim her, but I would say she would also give rat energy. Who is the rat in Lord of the Rings? 3, 2, 1. Sam. I love Lord of the Rings, by the way. I just watched it. I watched it with my brother in high school. Like, I probably, half watched it because I was like, I'm too cool for this. Rewatched it with Zach before Christmas. Obsessed. Like, mainly because I am someone who loves relationships. Like, again, I can't like a show if there aren't good relationships. For example, Zach goes on about Breaking Bad being, like, the best show ever. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like anyone in here. I don't like them. They're not nice to anyone. Like, who am I connecting with? I got to connect with people. Lord of the Rings, oh my God, the Hobbits have my heart. Oh my God. And Sam would be our hobbit with anxiety and a kind heart. And we absolutely claim him. We claim him right up. I literally love him. And, he's anxious and sweet. And just, that's a very sweet rat. That's a sweeter rat than I am. Grey's Anatomy, who's the rat? 3, 2, 1. Izzy Stevens, I think. Izzy Stevens is the rat, right? Because she did what she had to do. She knew how to take care of herself. She was a people pleaser. She did have anxiety, okay? It's giving rat, all right? She's truly the rat. Now, you might want to say that like Meredith, Christina, there is rat energy. I think, though, among surgeons in that high competitive environment, we can see a little bit of rat in everybody. Slay, right? Like, because we're seeing like high functioning anxiety kind of like all over the place. But Izzy would be the actual rat there because, yeah, she's just doing her best. She's just doing her best. All right. Again, rats aren't perfect. And I think, Christina was perfect, right? Meredith, I would say it would be more, again, into our Eeyore category. Nothing wrong with being an Eeyore. I freaking love Meredith Grey. Oh my God. But I would say more in the Eeyore category. Izzy was the one with the kind of like rat-like tendencies. Seinfeld, who is the rat? 3, 2, 1. George. Yeah, George is the rat. Don't really want to claim him. But that definitely high functioning anxiety. For sure, almost through the roof. That's not a rat in the sunshine. That's a rat in the sewer. Needs to do some self-work, okay? Definitely the rat. Again, I don't really want to claim it. Like, not a nice person, not a good person. And I would like to think that all rats are good people. So maybe that's a rat that made some wrong choices, but that would definitely be the rat. The Summer I Turned Pretty, who is the rat? 3, 2, 1. Belly's mom. Definitely the rat. It's giving rat. We've got anxiety. We've got, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm trying my best. We've got slay. Definitely slay. Like, that's our rat, right? Like, that is definitely our rat in The Summer I Turned Pretty. I really like that Belly's mom. I really do. I think she's super cool. She's definitely the rat. And she's still got some figuring out to do. She's definitely not like at Lorelai level yet as a mom, but she's getting there, and she's slay. Let's do Glee, who is the rat? 3, 2, 1. Don't you dare say Rachel Berry. Don't you dare. It's the redhead HR lady. Like, what was she? Is she the guidance counselor? Is she? She might be, right? The redhead, you know what I'm talking about, who mistakenly dates Will Schuester, which is did I just get my wedding photos? No, I didn't. Oh my God, I got excited. Let me talk about Will Schuester for a second. And this is going to make my sister laugh because she knows how much I hate this man. He scares me like no other. There is nothing creepier than Will Schuester. Have you watched the compilation videos? Like, I always thought, like, this guy's got the most punchable face. And again, it's a fictional character. I mean, nothing harm to the actual actor. I don't like this character. What a creep. What a creep. But yes, the girl that dates him would definitely be the rat in this scenario. Again, high-functioning anxiety for sure. High-functioning anxiety, very sweet, maybe a little lost, doing her best. But if I gave advice to that rat, she needs to speak her mind more and tell her creepy little boyfriend, Will Schuester, do they actually end up together? I hope not. She needs to tell him to stop being so creepy. The Mindy Project. Also, if you don't watch The Mindy Project, you need to watch The Mindy Project. It's amazing. It's amazing. 3, 2, 1. Who's the rat? Mindy, I think. Like, we've got some other characters in there with anxiety. Mindy, though, I think, like, I love that show. But her attitude is so good. She's kind of too fabulous to be a rat, but, like, I think that's someone who started as a rat, right? Like, that's someone who started as a rat and was able to become a rat in the sunshine, right? I think that's, like, another evolved rat. Like, obviously so slay, gynecologist in New York City, so cool, fabulous outfits, like, just a fabulous human. But at the same time, we've got those, kind of tendencies. Again, it's kind of tough, right? Because, like, she does have a big ego, which makes it hard because I would say rats don't have big egos. I think we have confidence issues. But then again, I think her character, again, it was a long time since I watched it, but I should watch it again because I genuinely love it so much. But there's episodes, she's still figuring it out. She's still finding herself. And I think she would be the rat in that show, though she doesn't fit perfectly. I think almost might have to give her a different comparison. She's kind of a queen, like, but again, I think it might have been like, there might have been a childhood rat there, a rat hood in the childhood until she evolved. You know what I mean? Euphoria. Does anyone watch that? I did, but I did find it hard to watch high school. I wish they were in university because I'm just like, seems weird to be filming these scenes if it's high school students. So I like to pretend it's university. But who's the rat? 3, 2, 1. Rue. Rue would be the rat, right? Rue definitely struggles. It's hard because obviously Rue, that character, struggles with like a lot of really heavy things. But at the end of the day, we definitely see someone who's like, I can't necessarily fit into the box you want me to fit into. Definitely like some anxiety that they're trying to stamp out with like substances, which are really like, again, heavy. That doesn't mean you can't be a rat if you're carrying really heavy stuff. And I think there is that sense, like, oh my God, the episode where she finally kisses Jules, I got full body chills. It was just like our rat thriving. Our little rat figuring things out. Like, it was just, I literally got chills. I was just like, yay, Rue. I just want Rue to have such a nice life. I love her family. Like, I really like that show, aside from the scenes, like, of the high school students doing things. But yeah, Rue's definitely our rat, like, that can't fit in the box and is really figuring things out. Again, not a rat in the sunshine yet, but I really believe Rue can get there. I want Rue to be a rat in the sunshine. Ooh, does anyone watch Outlander? Let's do Outlander. Who is the rat in Outlander? That's kind of tricky because general anxiety was, it's actually tricky to do dramas because typically we see general anxiety in TV or movies in a comedic character like a Monica, right? Like, it suits comedy really well because, again, it's like the frequency is really high and hyped up and really energetic. So we don't always see that in dramas in the kind of fun girly pop way that I like to talk about rats, but we can still do it for some dramas. Let's challenge ourselves and find them in the dramas. So Outlander, great books, by the way. I love them. But let's find the rat in the show. Who is the rat? 3, 2, 1. I'm searching through my mind. Claire is just an absolute girl boss queen. Can't be Claire. Jamie, King. Could be Jenny. Jamie's sister. Yes, it's Jenny. Does what she needs to do to take care of shit. Yes, it's Jenny. I love Jenny. Okay, definitely Jenny. Jenny's super strong in a rat way though. Like she actually, it's Jenny because that's where we're gonna find that, again, that general anxiety. She's always worried about her family. Again, this is a time when everyone was worried about their families, but she was doing it with that kind of high functioning strength, and that is rat. Yes. Let's do another drama. Who is the rat in The Crown? Kind of the real world, but I don't mean it in the real world. That's just like allegedly like in The Crown. Who is the rat? 3, 2, 1. I think it's the Queen. I think the Queen is our rat. Because her sister there's like maybe a couple things we could pick up on like with her, but she's too powerful in herself. And again, I don't think that's a rat. That's an evolved person, and I think you can start as a rat, but when you evolve past that, I think you enter a different category of like honey badger, queen zone. That I don't know that I'll ever like get to. Like, it's very hard for me to find like crazy self-worth and confidence. I want that for everyone. It's hard to do. And that aspect of like fitting in, like the sister wanted the crown. Like, she wanted to fit into that box, whereas the queenie got stuck with it and she had to figure out how to make it her own, and she does, and she girl bosses up to the next level, final boss mode, like, absolutely. But I think we do see like those rat tendencies because there's a lot of self-doubt in that character, and I think that's where we can relate again. Like, it's like there's not a lot of ego. You know, it took her a long time to learn how to push back, to learn how to use her voice and become like a bit of a queen rat, you know? And I think that's like, she is a queen, right? Diana would also be a rat. But you know what's funny? Society made Diana a rat. Diana came in so pure, and again, this is my interpretation of like watching the show. I don't know these people, obviously, duh. But Diana came in and was actually perfect for the role. She was gorgeous. She knew how to be like fun and lovely and turn it on. She had so much star power, star quality, queen. And society actually like started breaking down her confidence, and that is so sad. And then I think she entered rat behavior. So that's an interesting reversal. Someone who wasn't a rat, who got kicked a couple times and entered the rathood. We would absolutely accept her. She is a queen, and she was still flawless till the end. I don't mean it that way, but I do mean like they tried to dampen her sparkle, and I think that's what brought her a little bit more into the rat, because rats have our own sparkle. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not beating up a rat. Again, I love the rats and I stan the rats forever. It's just, yeah, like confidence is tricky for us. Yeah, like not people pleasing is tricky for us. Yeah, fitting into society's mold is tricky for us. Those are like really three huge pillars, right? Living in fear, some of the worst pillars, right? Like, being in survival mode, again, like a negative pillar that we might carry, but still we carry it, and it means, but we're good people, we're strong people, we're high functioning, impressive people. But there's just like these, like, it's just like, it's like the girls that get it and the girls that don't. I don't think I need to explain myself to the rats. I think we all get it. Like, there's multifacets. There's multiple areas of rat that we can talk about and discuss, and we will, because this is Rattitude Check. But that's an interesting point, how someone could come from being like star quality, power through the roof, to getting like some backlash, and wrongly so. Like, they should have left her alone. And she sinks into a bit of a rat category because, again, she's still so slay, and the rats are slay, and we know who we are, but that confidence got shaken up a little bit. Let's do one more drama just to like challenge myself here, because it is a lot harder to do dramas. Maybe a drama movie. By the way, I think the rat in any rom-com is going to be our main character. They love to make a rom-com about a rat, right? Because we can't take like a star power, girly pop, queen boss final level. That's not an interesting movie. The interesting movies are the rats and watching the rats thrive and trying to get the rats to thrive, okay? Think about it. Any romantic comedy, the lead is the rat, and I stand by that. I haven't checked them all in my head. I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, but I would say the vast majority, 80%, is going to be the main character is the rat, because that's an interesting story, right? Someone who's trying their best, is a good person, has the strength inside them, just needs to reach the sunshine and exit the sewer. Those are what the movies are about. Okay, be proud, rats. Well, like Dirty Dancing, the rat, again, main character, girl, energy. The movies are often going to be made about the rats. I'm going to be honest. Cannot think of movies right now. I'm going to do a part 2 to this episode because this is really fun and really fascinating for me. Hope you guys are all doing super well. Really love you guys. Hope this gave you a clear idea of like the rat hood, the rat club that we are in. Again, if you identify with something else in the rat club, you came here for another reason, please comment it below, because again, there's many aspects of the rat that we can talk about. So whatever you saw, you could diagnose me with some rat aspects, right? Like, I saw this in a video and that's why I'm here now. That's why I'm in the club now. I'm fascinated by it. Like, what you're connecting with. I am an ultimate rat. My sister is an ultimate rat. It's funny. My mom's not a rat and my dad's not a rat. I don't know how they bred rats, right? Like, we just became rats. Like, I don't know what it was, like, but we were rats, all right? And so you can identify with like a lot of things in the rat. The main things I hit on today are some of like those big pillar conversations of what I find like, okay, this makes a rat, this doesn't, right? Like, those are the biggies, but there's also like the little things. So feel free to comment them. Also, if you haven't left a rating and review on the podcast, it's actually so helpful. Like, if you want me to still be doing this podcast, I need you to leave a rating and a review and support me on platforms and shit. Cause honestly, I think I've got 2 more years in trying this career out of like becoming an actor, and all of your support honestly helps so much. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to leave you with a quote because I've been having a tough time lately. And, if you saw the Rachel episode, like, we talked about quotes, and the one that Rachel said that I had seen before and I still love to this day is, you have gotten yourself through 100% of your challenges. So you can do it again. You've gotten yourself through everything. And you will continue to do that. And that is what makes you a rat. Okay? Rats, that's the end of the episode.